Is it swoosher or is it swooker? Never mind. Never mind. I never said it out loud. I only thought of it, and I was like, "It's swooker." I think.
The tragedy is literally everyone. Like, no. Everyone calls it swooker. It's actually swoocer. But you can call it whatever. Yeah, swoocer. But you can call it whatever you want.
I'm so glad we got that dispelled. That myth is. It's gone now.
Swooker. Everyone knows. That sounds like a slur. I'm not going to lie to you. Swooker.
Laddie Swooker.
Did I ever tell you guys about the guy who reacted to my video and pronounced my name horribly wrong?
No.
Because it was weird. He pronounced the name Swooker, but the weird thing was he was like, "Oh, and by the way, I talked to the creator of this video, me."
Oh, you did tell me this.
Yeah. He was like, "I talked to the creator of this video, and he told me I'm pronouncing it correctly." And that's crazy because one, he wasn't, like he was not pronouncing it correctly, and two, I never spoke to him. I don't know who that
just lying was. For literally no reason.
Exactly.
That's so funny.
He was just lying for no reason.
How did he pronounce it?
He pronounced it Swooker.
Oh. Okay.
And he was claiming that I told him that was correct.
That's so funny.
Dude.
Have you had somebody react to your video before? That you know of?
Yes, actually. There was I think in like the YouTube backend there was like a mentions tab. And so randomly, just years and years ago, like someone reacted to my like a 7th generation of horror video. And it was just this lady going through a gauntlet of videos that she just watched recently. And mine was one of them. It's there very, very briefly. She's like, "Oh yeah, and I watched this one too, and that was fun." Anyways, and then like moved on. And I was like, "Damn, that was kind of disappointing." I was excited to see a genuine reaction, but then like nothing happened. Yeah. I mean, thank God. I don't like that video, but it's fine. It works out. Yeah. But
was yours a dedicated one?
I think so. Yeah, I've had a few dedicated reactions in the past. I think maybe it's
Landen.
Because.
Have you had a reaction?
I have. I haven't seen it because I'm scared. I don't want to see how they're reacting to it. I don't want anything to do with it because it wasn't like a sweet old lady. It was some dude, and I was like,
"No, you don't watch it then."
Yeah, exactly. It's some dude.
There was that guy who emailed you. He was like very mad. He called you a very nasty racial slur.
Oh yeah, he was like,
what?
Oh my God, I can find this email so fast. Hold on.
He has it on lock. Anyways, everyone, welcome back to the Code Cleric podcast. This is Code Cleric episode 11, featuring the one and only Swooker.
Oh my God.
Go work, go woke, go swoke.
That's crazy. Love it. While Asad pulls up his problematic email, Kevin, do you want to introduce yourself really quick?
Yeah, so my name is some variation of Swoocer. Some people call me Swooker. Most people call me Swooker, unfortunately. But a lot of people just call me Kevin. I make Monster Hunter videos, make some indie videos. I would like to make more. And a bunch of just like general gaming videos, talking about why people enjoy games, why they enjoy certain parts of games, trying to be more positive, more optimistic, things like that.
Love it.
You know, it took me like legitimately. I mean, I not even too long. It was until he told me that the MH in mhswoocer was for Monster Hunter. I just thought, I was like, what is this random assortment of letters that he has going on? I don't get it. And he said that, I was like, God damn, I'm so stupid.
Yeah.
So like a Monster Hunter clan tag, or like what? Like what's?
So originally it started as a joke because my original tag was just Swoocer. But then in 2021, Monster Hunter Rise came out. And I was playing that game for like more than I think I've played any other game in my life, like 18 hours a day, every single day. And in the Discord server I was in, people just started calling me mhswoocer because that was literally all I was ever doing. And then I made a YouTube channel around that same time, and I figured I would carry on the joke there.
Love it.
And I just never changed it.
Love it. That you play that game so much, you literally adopted its identity.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
amazing. Love
I
it.
became the game.
Anyways,
Fire.
Asad, show me that email.
Yeah, I got the email. So the title of the email is it's it's wrong again parentheses about PlayStation and somewhat Nintendo. Which first of all, I don't know when I was wrong the first time, but this is just like the first time he sent me this email, and it's just wrong again that all lowercase, well not all lowercase, but like written normally. And like it like kind of starts off like fine. It's like almost measured, right? Like wrong again about PlayStation and somewhat Nintendo. The actual content of the email is in all caps. And it's just shut your ignorant ass up, you filthy pajit. No white woman will hang out with you no matter how much you plea. And then he says the F word. And then it says in regular letters, sent with Proton Mail secure email. So he really like locked up before he sent that. But it's the way that I always find this email is I just search Pajit because I'm like, this is the first time anyone and last time anyone's ever just called me that. It's just like
I've never heard. Well, clearly, I've never heard that slur before that email.
I didn't know it was a thing. But then I was like, oh, okay. But I was just like, what? When did I say I even wanted to hang out with a white woman? Where is this coming from? What do you mean?
It's the energy you radiate. You radiate like you want to desperately be with a white woman and cleanse your genes.
That's the energy I give.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough.
Not fair enough, actually. White women are the devil, but...
Oh, my God.
Moving on.
No comment.
I'm
staying out of that one. I'm not speaking
I
on
gotta
this.
leave. I just attached my name. I just explained the whole thing, and got me in 4K.
Anyways, welcome back to Code Cleric. This is a bi-weekly podcast hosted by me, Landen and Asad Anjum. Guest starring Kevin Swoocers.
Hello.
Today. And we figured we would just do a little indie tier list today. We've assorted 5 indie, or no, is it 5 or 10 indies that we played recently?
Good God.
10.
Get this man some help.
I know.
Sub him in. I'm gonna, I might swap in Kevin full time. Did a good job. He came in here prepared.
Landen's getting traded.
Was the most ill-prepared host the podcast has ever seen. It was bad. Anyways,
I'm trading Landen for a bag of chips and cash considerations.
That sucks,
That's my favorite.
Come on.
Landen knows nothing about sports. I don't know. Kevin, do you know anything about sports?
Yeah, I know a fair bit.
Yeah. My favorite thing is when like somebody gets traded for cash considerations. It's just like he wasn't worth anything. You're just like, I guess maybe I'll maybe give you money or something for this guy.
Is that one guy who got traded for like a fax machine or something?
What?
In like the mid 2000s, there was an NBA player. I think it was cash considerations, and like they ended up spending the money on like a fax machine. And so the running joke is that he got traded for a fax machine.
That's incredible.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I thought you meant like recently, like that. Like
no,
it's like,
not recently. No, this is like 20 years ago.
Luka Doncic got traded for a fax machine. Effectively,
He literally did.
Anyways, 10 recent indie games that we've played. Asad has his list. I put up my list, and then Kevin brought up his list, and so we'll be ranking these indies accordingly. We have some old ones, some classics, some new stuff that I've never heard of, but then I'm excited to hear about once we get into it. So, but before we begin, do you guys have any questions, any concerns, comments?
And questions, concerns? No. I'm excited. I feel like I've played like a good range of indies in my last 10. I think I think there was maybe like only like 2 or 3 games that overlapped between all of our last 10s. But I do think that like some of the stuff that's on Landen's list I've played but before, some of the stuff he's played but before on my list, whatever. So I feel like we'll be able to get at least some discussion on here, but some of them are just going to be totally new to all of us. So it's going to be fun.
Love it. Cool. Now let me put up my little screen here. Look how neat that is. I wonder how that's going to show up in the edit.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that.
So, and then hopefully my notepad doesn't show up either. So that way it doesn't expose any crazy wrongdoings I'm doing on my part. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
I
Just tell
know.
me.
I know
I
what
have
you're
no
saying.
idea
Okay.
what you mean. What?
Okay. There's a streamer lately who like he was streaming and then he just had CP on his computer.
Jesus Christ.
And it was linked onto his notepad, and it just like if you read what was on the notepad, it was like a link to it basically.
Oh my
And
god,
then-
why would he just have a link to Cyberpunk? That's so weird.
Literally, dude. He was pirating copies of Cyberpunk.
That's fucked
on
up.
horrible.
stream.
It's the worst thing you could possibly do with
I
CP.
can see why they canceled him. Yeah.
COD points. He was pirating COD points. That's what he was doing. All right. So to begin, these are kind of in no particular order at all. I probably should have ordered them.
I mean, they're alphabetical, aren't they?
They are. Oh, no.
They were almost
no,
alphabetical.
They're
Yeah, what
almost
the
alphabetical.
They're alphabetical to a point, and then you just gave up, I guess.
They were. That was not intentional at all, but all right, we'll keep going. Anyways, to begin, we'll start with Arco. Kevin, pop off.
All right, sure. Arco's an S. I'll just be honest. Arco is the
all right.
perhaps the best indie game I've played in the past year and a half or so. It was shouted out at the Game Awards by the Balatro dev, so that's, I mean, that
Nice.
should give you all the credence that you need. Game's great. Like it's very very unique in how the gameplay works. The story is, in my opinion, like one of the best revenge stories ever told, and it uses the medium of gaming super well. I can't say too much. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but genuinely a phenomenal game. I think the only like genuine tragedy is the developer went on an interview once and he talked about how the game performed, and it did fine. Like it did okay. But he was saying that he didn't want to make more games like that because it didn't do well. And so he was saying his next game is going to be significantly less experimental, which is unfortunate, but like that's just how the
You
industry
hate to hear
goes.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we dive too deep into that, can you give like an overview of what Arco is? Like if you give like a summary. I know that this is honestly maybe the worst possible game to start with, because I know that it's a complicated thing to explain, and also
Yeah.
you're our guest. We definitely should have started with one of ours first. We're just like putting you on the spot of like how to figure
No,
this
you're
all out.
good,
But yeah,
you're
if, like give quick summary of like what genres it fits into, what gameplay styles, all that.
So the genre is weird. I don't know what genre I would even describe it as. It is mildly close to an RPG. It's got some bits of Oregon Trail, if you remember that game, if you're a couple 100 years old. It's kind of like a game like Fire Emblem, or if you've played Valkyria Chronicles, it's mildly similar to that. It's got like strategy-based combat, and it's, like I said, it's tough to describe, but like it's kind of, I would
It is
say it's like a mix
turn-based,
of,
right?
yeah, it's partially turn-based. And
Okay.
that's like part of why I'm struggling to describe it. It's partially turn-based. It's partially there's this like energy system. I made a video on it. You can just watch the video. But yeah, it's
Hop off of this
it's a
and just
solid
watch
game.
this whole video
It's
and then
tough
come
to
back.
describe, but I think if you like watch a trailer of it or something like that, you'll get a better idea of it. But it's solid. It's really good.
Yeah, for anybody who's, I mean, like, I'm just trying to like paint a picture for anybody who has never seen it and is maybe just listening to this, but I believe it's top down, correct? Top down,
Yeah,
pixel
yeah.
art, very story heavy, and then kind of like a weird hybrid turn-based game. I know that it's just like from what I've heard, it just like expands into a lot of strange places.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like the same problem that people have when describing Inscription, which we'll get to later.
It's exactly like that.
Of like you just don't want to talk about it too much, but baseline level, it's similar, at least from what I've seen, to Crosscode. Am I wrong in saying that?
Yeah, it's mildly similar to Crosscode. Yeah.
Okay, it's giving me nothing over here. I've walked
it's
away
a-
knowing exactly zero about this game.
So I'll tell you a little bit more. You play as multiple different characters. Now that I've had time to think about it a little bit, you play as multiple different characters. You have like these skills and abilities that you can use and that you can level up. And you can like choose to go down different paths on this skill tree. What else? I can't say that because that would That would spoil my life. Yeah, it's an inscription situation. I can't say too much, but if you want to see like the gameplay, you can watch a trailer. Outside of that, the game's like $15. Just play the game. It's really good. It's incredibly good.
Yeah.
How long is it?
It's only like 10 hours. It's pretty short.
Oh, fire.
Cool.
Love that.
Love it. Yeah. Just solid, weird fucking looking game. And
Yeah,
big shame that the reality of having a weird game hit this developer, because it truly is. It does look like something special. So
Well, I'm honestly kind of surprised that it didn't do well, just because like I've heard of it. It's like one that's made its rounds, at least in the discourse of video games. So I'm surprised that it didn't do very well.
yeah.
I mean, I think that's part of why it didn't do well. Is it's a very difficult game to describe quickly. Like if I recommend Celeste, I can be like, it's a platformer about climbing a mountain. Or if I recommend like Hades, I'm like, oh, it's a roguelike about Olympus gods and things like that. But with this game, it's like it's like a kind of a Wild West game, and it takes place in South America, and you play as multiple different characters, and it's kind of like Fire Emblem, but it's also not like Fire Emblem, and it's turn-based, but it's not turn-based. Sometimes it's top-down, sometimes it's not. It's like it's tough to describe.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
What is not tough to describe, however, is the next game on the list, Ball Pit. A game that I've been addicted to lately on my Steam Deck. And I'm just going to throw it in to an A. It's great. It's just fun. Like, it's just... Like, I don't want to say it's mindless, because there definitely is strategy to it. For context, Ball Pit, it's like a mix of like pinball, Pong, evolved into this really strange kind of like forward-facing Peggle-esque game where you're just shooting balls and upgrading those balls, getting more balls, getting tiny balls, big balls, all sorts of different balls to hit a bunch of people in the face with these balls, and you got to ricochet them. Like, it's really fun. And there's a lot of like cool stats that go with it too. So it's like the balls do more damage if you hit them from the left side. So you want to like focus more on like angling from the left. It's like the balls do more damage if you hit them from the back. So you got to like angle the balls to the back. It's really cool. I love it. It's just a fun, just like chill kind of game. There is some like resource management stuff. So when like you're not in the arena itself, you have to go and like harvest wheat, stone, and like wood, and like build up this like little town. And like that's how you like upgrade your characters basically and get more characters. That part I'm not too crazy about, if I'm being real. I kind of just want to play with balls. So
Of course. Understandable.
it's fine. Like it's just a fun, mindless kind of chill game. And like it was a game I was playing when I was editing the last podcast, because I'm like listening to it, making sure everything's good. I just have to kill time. What can I do? Ball Pit. So
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah,
It's kind of like, I mean, I've seen the trailers for it. It's Devolver published, right?
Mm-hmm.
Musa, and then it's to me it kind of just looked like Brick Breaker with RTS on.
Yeah,
Or
pretty
RTX
much.
on, like it was just like super detailed and like
It's very pretty.
yeah, like a lot of personality to it. But fundamentally, it is that like it's the same kind of basic principles as like a Brick Breaker or like a Candy Crush type thing, where it's just like super simple backbone of like just hitting things and like knocking them out, just taken to its absolute maximum.
Yeah,
Which
definitely.
honestly, it does seem like a really really fun, like chilled, turn your brain off kind of game.
100%.
Yeah.
The writing's very fun too. Like it's not simple. Like when you're in a menu and it's telling you, it's like, okay, so you got this upgrade. The prompt says whoa, like just whoa, and it's like that's cute. That's cute. I love that.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's not like, okay, moving on. It's like whoa, like it's just I love it. It's good stuff. Kevin, have
Does
you
it
played
have
it
like
yet?
a? Oh no, I haven't played it. I've seen it. I've seen pictures and trailers of it. I was gonna ask, does it have like a story to it, or is it more like?
Kind of. It's more like gain enough points to unlock the next character, and then the next character kind of has his own like lore to him.
Okay.
Just different like styles. So like the first guy, he's just like a casual knight. The second guy, he's more like a rogue kind of like a dastardly swashbuckler kind of guy. And I haven't, truth be told, I've just been leveling these two guys up. I haven't progressed to other characters because I just want to upgrade these guys for the time being.
Yeah.
But so I have the means to upgrade the other guys or to like unlock the other characters. I just haven't yet.
Yeah.
But
Makes sense.
yeah, no, it's a
Sounds cool.
fantastic game. Asad, Bionic Bay.
Bionic Bay. I mean, let's keep it going with the highest scores. I think I'm gonna give this one an A.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not quite an S. So Bionic Bay is it's like a cinematic puzzle platformer. So probably the most famous examples of these are the Playdead games. So you have like Limbo Inside. Limbo especially, I think, is a good starting point for what this kind of game is. It's very much it plays with shadows a lot. A lot of like the backgrounds are like really big and you're really small. But first of all, the scale of this game is incredible. It is a 2D cinematic platformer, but you are truly like a tiny little dude on the screen, and you're very nimble. Like you can like dive in midair and like do rolls and stuff like that. So unlike Limbo, it's not like you're this kid who has not a lot of agency and you just kind of have to like deal with like the world around you. Like there's more of a kind of active role that you're taking in going through this stuff, and you truly have like these gigantic robot hands and laboratories and stuff that you're walking through. And on top of that, there's a few different power-ups. Like some of them, like they kind of shoot you forward really fast, is like the super punch. My favorite one is a swapping mechanic. So like you can put your little button or whatever it is on top of like a crate, and then jump towards a laser, and then hit the swap button, and then you swap with the crate, and then the crate hits the laser and like triggers it, and you're safe or whatever. And it really goes super far with those kind of things. Like sometimes there's like freezing power-ups, there's like time stopping power-ups and stuff like that, and they just like really stretch the bounds of what you can do with the gameplay. It looks really beautiful, it feels really great, it's super like tight to control. Pretty short-ish game. A lot of cinematic platformers are around like 5-6 hours. I think this is similar. I didn't fall in love with the story. I think it was like it just didn't grab me at any point. Like it was fine, it was there, it was serviceable, but it usually gave it to you in like really big text dumps after like a really long time. And I always find that these games are way better with just their environmental storytelling, and that it was pretty good with, so I did like that. But yeah, anyone who's ever liked that style of game, I really do think this is like, it's not the toughest challenge puzzle wise, but it's definitely enough to like, it focuses more on like your dexterity and things like that. And there's definitely a few that'll like get your brain working. But yeah, it's honestly just like a really, really polished version of this formula.
Dude, this game looks gorgeous.
It's
It looks
awesome.
really good. Yeah.
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 Like
It reminds me of the Ori games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The sense of like, I'm just watching gameplay right now. The sense of weight that you have as just like a tiny little guy, but you can still kind of like feel the gravity.
Yeah.
Looks phenomenal. The physics
They do like
look
such
really
good
fun.
things. Yeah. The sound design and like like he's such a small guy, but the animations, like specifically like when you fall into like a puddle of goop or something, it has this great like squish sound to it,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
kind of like ragdoll into it. Like it's all like little things that they do really well within like this whole thing. And I think that usually like takes these games a step above, is when they can nail the small stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's
It's
fantastic.
cool. It looks like a bit of a puzzle game too. Like a mix of
Yes.
a puzzle and a platformer.
Have you guys played like the Playdead games at all?
I don't think so.
No.
Phew. Get on that, boys. What are you doing? You
Yeah, I know.
guys haven't played Inside?
Yeah, guy who hasn't played Undertale? Like, what are you talking
Well,
Yeah, you can't,
check the list, buddy.
Can't really say that
Okay,
anymore.
guy who played Undertale in 2025. Yeah, my bad.
Ooh, yeah, that's
Leave
a
me
little
alone.
tough. No, I think
Inside's older, I'm pretty sure.
I think I fucked around with Limbo, but that was when I was like, nah, I don't care, and I'd play like fucking Fallout 4 again. But it was, you know, I appreciate those games. Like I've been inside one of those games that I'm like, I should get to that, and I just never do. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're super short, so like I might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really, really quick. Like like Limbo you can finish in a sitting. Bionic Bay, it might take you a couple just because like this is just the kind of game. I mean, most kind of games I don't like playing for longer than like a couple hours at a time. But yeah, no, it's a really, really fun one. And you should check it out if you haven't, because I did not hear enough praise for this game when it came out, and it just came. I believe it came out last year, and it was really good, and it's one of my favorite games of the year. So
Love it.
Nice.
Cool, Kevin. This next game.
All right. This game is actually easy to describe, thank God. It's a game about.
well, hold on, what is the game?
The game is Angelina
We're in
Era.
a podcast medium.
Yeah, right.
These people are just listening.
So for the people who cannot see the screen, yeah. So the game's called Angelina Era. It came out late last year. It's kind of like Super Metroid if it was a 3D game. The story behind the creator is
So Metroid?
Yeah. I guess it's well, kind of.
Metroid
So
Prime,
I say
guess.
Super Metroid specifically.
Metroid's
I say
not
Super
really
Metroid
3D.
specifically because it's a very deliberately archaic game. And so the story behind the game is that the developer he doesn't hate hand holding. I don't really know his stance on that, but he wanted to make a game that felt like how games used to feel, where there was like just a guidebook that came with the game. There was no internet. There was no walkthroughs or anything like that. And so you just have to experiment and figure out what works and what doesn't. And that's pretty much how the entire game is designed. It's designed around like this search mechanic where there are like tiles, and you walk around on each tile and you search each tile and you try to figure out like maybe this one leads to a dungeon, maybe this one leads to like a town or something like that. And so the whole game you just spend like searching around for things. And as far as like the actual gameplay and the combat, this part is kind of strange. It's called a bump slash game, and I've never seen these games in my life. I don't know if you guys have. It's this weird genre where you deal damage by just running into things, and that's the whole combat system. And you gain other abilities as you play through the game, like new weapons, new ways to deal damage. But generally, you just run into things to deal damage. Which is very satisfying for someone like me who cannot stand contact damage in games. So it's nice to be able to turn things around. But yeah, it's a really cool game. It's similar to, I guess, like Ocarina of Time a little bit too. It's got like N64-esque graphics. It's a super cool game. I wouldn't put it quite as high as Arco. I think I would put it probably in B tier. But yeah, it's super solid. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude, this game looks fucking sick.
It's great.
Oh man, yeah. The graphics, you can tell that like it's, I don't know, man. There's something to like intentional obscurity that just really, really, really works with the style of graphics. And
so this is like also for people like it's an over the top, almost like it's kind of reminded me of
Zelda,
like Link's Awakening, or specifically.
Yeah.
There seems like there's also a couple like 2D side scrolling sections as well, but not majority seems top down.
Yeah, the game messes with camera angles a fair bit too. It'll have some sections that are partially 2D and partially 3D. It'll have occasional top-down sections, and it uses those camera angles pretty well, and it's pretty interesting. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I looked up bump slash games, and literally the only game that comes up is Angelina Era.
Yeah,
so
same.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I watched the trailer on Steam, and it described itself as a bump slash game. Like, what is that? I've never heard of that in my life. And maybe it's the first and only one. Maybe it's trying to start a movement. But yeah, I've never seen it, but it works shockingly well. Like it's surprisingly intuitive.
Love it.
Nice.
Cool, man. Well, Angelina Era, you're in the B tier.
I hate that one is a different aspect
it's a
than
different
the others.
size.
So now it looks like there's two things in B.
It does,
Yeah.
doesn't it? We'll get used
God
to
damn
it,
it.
bucko. 'Cause the next one we got here is also a wide boy. Fear and Hunger. Actually, let me put them back really quick. Fear and Hunger. This is a crazy ass game that I've been told to play for a little while now, and I finally did it this past October. And let me just say, this game's an A. No, it's an S. No.
Oh.
Is it S?
Oh God.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to be like quick to put it in the S because I feel like there's a lot of these games that deserve to be an S but just shouldn't for the sake of, not being in the S. Let's do okay. Of all the recent indie games that I have played, Fear and Hunger is the one that has stuck with me the most. I didn't like it all the time. In comparison to like another indie, like I guess I'll get to it eventually. We won't spoil the list quite yet. So I guess there was moments where I was like, oh, this game's fucking pissing me off. So for that alone, I guess I'll put it to the S. I mean, I'll put it in an A. But what can I say about Fear and Hunger more than that it's morbid? It's thoroughly disturbing. It's tough, very difficult. Every enemy feels like a boss. But every enemy is just a puzzle, and to an extent. So for those, let me step back here. Fear and Hunger is an RPG Maker game. Like, if you don't know what RPG Maker is, think Final Fantasy, but indie. It's open source engine. This one guy made this entire game all by himself, based on the concept of he was like riffing with his friends. He's like, all right, so what would you do if you were in the most dark, demented dungeon you've ever been in your whole life?
I assume that's how he sounded also.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how
He's
you
European.
have to sound to make a game called Fear and Hunger.
Yeah.
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 And so they'd come up with these heinous scenarios. And then eventually, this was in college, and then eventually he just started designing his own game off to the side, inspired by those conversations where you enter the dungeons of Fear and Hunger, and are... I'll explain, within the first minute or so, you can be violently assaulted in a sexual manner, which is not great. Not good. You don't want to be in that position because it is not great.
You don't want to be.
Thank you for specifying that that's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing.
Thanks, Landen.
On top of that, you could also encounter an enemy. He chops your legs off. You're thrown into a sewer full of dead corpses, and you crawl your way out of the sewer only to just be crawling. Like, if your legs are gone, you're at 1 health. You can still explore the dungeon as far as you can until you encounter another enemy. And so you're crawling and crawling and crawling, and then you notice something weird about this specific pile of corpses. So you go and interact with it, and then a bodiless wizard, just a head with like a spine dangling down, starts talking to you, and he's all talking all crazy like, and you're like, I don't know what is happening. And then you enter battle, and then a loud trombone kind of like a brass instrument is playing in the background, and you see this ginormous demon creature slowly approaching you, and you don't have any legs. And you're just like, what the fuck what am I supposed to do? And then you just die. And it's trial and error. The entire game, you just save, and then you try and go as far as you can until you inevitably die, and then you go back to where you were, try something else. And also, a save isn't even a guarantee. A save is literally a flip of the coin. There's a 50-50 chance that you can even track your progress in this game.
What do you mean by that? Like you
go to a
so
save
you're
point.
limited to the amount of times that you like. So does it have like Dark Souls save system of like it's like specific areas, or
You just find a bed. It doesn't really like they're like, I guess specific. Every area has a bed, technically speaking. But you got to find it. So you go and you find the bed. So one area has like a safe zone to where it's just like, oh, you can save, no problem. There's no cost to it. But any other time you try and save in that bed specifically, it's a coin flip. The game is defined by the coin flip. It's a heads or tails on whether an enemy will hit you. It's a heads or tails whether or not you can open a chest. It's a heads or tails whether or not you stepped on the trap. And the save point is like that as well. There's only one in the game that is like surefire, but after that, it doesn't. It's all a coin flip from there. So if you're in deep in a dungeon, and you finally encountered a safe spot, it's up to a coin flip to decide whether or not your progress is saved or not. Hence why there's just moments where you're just like, oh my fucking God, I can't with this game. Like it's a grueling horror game, to say the least, and which it's horrifying playing it because it makes you feel miserable. But also it's rich in lore. It's very well written. There's crazy looking enemies that are very interesting to fight. There's some flashback sequences that are like some big highlights. Like I was like thoroughly enraptured by this indie game. In certain sects, it was crazy. This game is an experience, and I believe everyone should give it a try just for the shits and giggles of like trying to see how far you can get. But if you actually commit to wanting to see this game through, it is certainly an experience that you will never forget.
I don't think I would like this game.
I don't think you would either. Truth
I
be
think,
told.
yeah, like I think probably the limit to my whole like, I want to have agency. I want what things happen to be based on my own like skill or whatever, which is why I really like, you know, the Souls games, for example, of like, I feel like I do have control over everything that I'm doing. And I think probably the limit of that is something like a Disco Elysium or a Baldur's Gate 3 of like, it's still technically like there's chance to it, but at least I have like stats and I have things that I can like push towards, and I can make certain decisions that will like lead to better outcomes even with the randomness of it. But a straight up coin flip on whether I'm going to open a chest, I'd be like, fuck you. I don't care. What? That's stupid.
It is.
That's one of those things where like I get that it makes the game unique, but I wonder if it still would have been a better game without a feature like that. I mean, you're better to answer that than I am, but I don't know. Sometimes there are like features where it's like, even if the game is incredible, that was maybe not the right decision to make. And I'm curious if you think that that's the case, or if you're just like, nah, it fits and it's perfect for this game.
I think it fits. I think part of what makes the game so... Part of what makes it stick is that it's so brutal, and that like it makes you feel the brutality of it with its gameplay systems, and being like, there is no savior here. Like it's you're either in or you're out, and it's based on luck sometimes, which it can be. It's like I said before, it's trial and error. So you explore more of the game by backtracking through a save. So say you get pretty far, you encounter a guy, he kills you instantly, you go back like an hour, you're like, oh, God damn it. All right, well, let me go this avenue instead. And then you just explore an entire sect of the game you didn't know was there before, and you'll get something that helps you. And then you go back over there, and then this time things work out for you. You kind of, it has that sense with Dark Souls where like you start to slowly memorize the game. Like you memorize the map. You know exactly where to go when you go to Firelink Shrine, to how to get to wherever you want to go. It's the same way here. It's like you will memorize the map of Fear and Hunger by the time you are done with this game, which is cool. Like it there's so many interesting little things in this dungeon that like it'd be a shame if I missed it, because it would be a shame if I won that battle and then didn't experience like another avenue of this dungeon, you know. Although it's just hard. It's just an experience that like you kind of have to be into or you're not into, you know.
Yeah.
I think there's easier modes though. There's like a baby mode though. So like if you just want to experience the story and the lore, like you can just go through it on that way. And there also is like extra hard mode as well that I have not touched.
Of course.
I just did the base difficulty.
Why wouldn't there be?
Yeah. There's also a visual novel dating simulator as well.
What?
There's
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I forget what it's called, but he he takes all the characters.
It might as well.
and then makes it like a silly little like high school kind of like, oh, I'm gonna be
funny.
late for class. Type thing. And it is really funny. It just washes your mouth out of like all the nasty depravity that you experience with the base game, and you're just like, oh, okay, this is pretty silly. I haven't played the second game. I've heard the second game expands like on not only on the lore but the gameplay systems, everything, and in a really really interesting way. It's like further along in the timeline to where it's more like the 1940s from what I hear, whereas this is like in the Middle Age. It's like way far in the future, which is really really cool. It's pretty exciting. But enough of Fear and Hunger. I mean, Kevin, did you have any thoughts?
I mean, I think the only thing I'll say about Fear and Hunger, because I think you've pretty much covered all of it. I really do respect the willingness to make a game that is not fun to play, with the express goal of like creating a specific experience. I think that's really cool. I don't think I like to play games like that, but I do really respect like that artistic vision to have this idea in your head of like, yeah, I want to make a game where the point is to suffer, and like the point is to have these specific ideas as the player goes through the game. And I am fully aware that will not be fun to play through. I'm fully aware most people will not like this, but this is the experience that I want to create. And I really respect that. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
The game was, I think it was in like early access for a while, but it didn't pop off until, I believe it was released in 2017, and then it didn't pop off until 2020 or something like that. Like it just released, nobody cared about the game, and then you look at the Steam charts, and then it just shoots up into popularity. Because
I wonder if it was like a stream.
It was a lot of
stream
YouTubers
replays
or something finding the game and streaming it, and you have to download a mod to make it streamer friendly, because this game is very very graphic and sexual. And it's, I don't know, it's cool. Like, and then like once that happened, the guy was like, "Oh, I guess I just made a lot of money and I can make a second game now." Great, love it.
Nice,
love a delayed success story. So, Fear and Hunger, you're an A. I love you. I will get to the second game eventually.
Nice.
Now,
before I get to the next game, I'm looking at the time right now, and I'm like, we're gonna be keeping Kevin here until fucking March at this rate. So we'll try and speed this along a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, so next game, Children of the Sun. I will put this, I guess, on the scale, like the curve that our games are on here. I would give it a B, but just for the sake of this list, I might put it in C. Basically, Children of the Sun is a game about a cult survivor who is going around and murdering the people of the cult that she was in since she was a child. It tells like this really gruesome story, mainly through like silent cutscenes in between a few levels. It doesn't have like an emphasis on the story. From what I remember, there's no dialogue, but there are like these beautifully animated scenes that are also very brutal, of like what this person went through and what their family went through and like why she's getting the revenge. And the gameplay is pretty unique. It's like basically you play as like almost like the sniper with a magic bullet, and you're only you can orient yourself kind of in like a big circle around the level. So like imagine the level is like one big circle and you're on the outskirts. You're like the ring around it, and you can like go all the way around. And then you set up your shot, you shoot the first person, and then once you hit somebody, the bullet can turn. So it's kind of like a strategy game of like how to line up your shot. Like the scenarios get more complicated. There's like more obstacles in your way. You have to be more creative with the way that you're ricocheting a shot like off of somebody onto somebody else. And then there are like other sections where like if you go through a certain area, you can ricochet without hitting somebody. But there are a lot of like constraints, and then it lets go of that constraint to create this like very simple gameplay loop of you got one bullet, you're trying to hit a bunch of people with that single bullet, and it's like quote unquote a strategy game. I do really like it for its uniqueness, and I really like it for its art style, and it has like really creepy elements of just like even the main menu screen of like when you're going towards different levels is like weird, and like there's like this breathiness to it, and it's like just like uncomfortable to look at. And so like stylistically really great, and putting it in C kind of hurts. It's just that I think it's a pretty limited gameplay experience. It's a cool one, but not one that I'm like over the moon about. And then just like with this range of games, I would put it more along like the average side of things. So it's kind of like between a B and a C for me. But yeah,
That makes sense.
That looks cool. That looks sick.
It is
I had
cool.
no concept of this game, and then I was looking at it. Yeah, like you said, beautiful animation, real distinct art style, and then you get into the gameplay, and I'm like, what the fuck is? And then just you're just following a bullet, and that's sick. Love it. It's cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
yeah. Don't let its placement here fool you into thinking it's a bad game. It's definitely not a bad game.
Yeah, it's a bad game. Anyways, Kevin, going on about Haste.
So Haste is it's a roguelike. I joked with my friends a lot. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I joked with my friends quite a lot. Where the idea is Haste is Sonic if Sonic was good. And Haste is
What the hell, man? Everyone, our whole audience is Sonic fans. What the fuck?
yeah, my bad. But no, I to be clear, I think Sonic games are great. I haven't played one in a long time, so I can't.
To be
speak
clear,
for-
Landen doesn't think that. Landen is the biggest Sonic fan. What we had, Isaac, who you know obviously, was editing one of our podcasts, and he put like the Sonic ring sound at the very beginning, and he sent it to us. It was the first thing that he ever edited for the podcast, and he sent it to us. And like 3 seconds later, Landon goes, "Take out that fucking sound." He's like, you piece of shit, take it out right now.
That's so funny.
I hate Sonic almost to the point where it's like an autistic fixation. That Sonic it's such an emotional reaction out of me because I really don't like Sonic.
On the flip side, I only like the shitty Sonic games because they were the ones I grew up with, and for whatever reason, I like them. So, like Sonic Unleashed, the one where he turns into a werewolf, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, that's my boy right there.
I was gonna ask if you had examples, but there you go.
Sonic the Hedgehog is just crazy. I haven't thought about the game in so long.
I've like seen gameplay of it. I was like, what was I thinking?
That game was like recently responsible for like huge strides in like 360 emulation, wasn't it? Did
Was
you
it
hear anything
really?
about that?
Was
Like,
it?
I think-
there was something with like Sonic Unleashed became like weirdly popular in a unorthodox way for something.
Yeah.
So you might be right. Yeah.
I think what it is because Sonic Unleashed, like a lot of people figured out how to more easily emulate 360 games, which to where you can play it more natively on your console, on your PC.
Oh, that's cool.
That's what I mean. So like any 360 games that just aren't available, like there's because of Sonic Unleashed, there's going to be avenues to play them more accessibly, which is
I knew it.
crazy.
Interesting.
I
was ahead of the curve.
So
You knew.
Sonic fans, I'll give you this one, bro. That's
This one W.
yeah.
But
Anyways,
yeah, tell us
to be
more about
clear-
Sonic, but good.
To be clear, Sonic fans, I'm not against you. I have nothing ill will,
okay.
none of
You're
that. We're
protected
good. but yeah, I think Haste is it's a roguelike. It is like a 3D. I really can't describe it without calling it Sonic. But if you played like
Learn how
Sonic
to describe
Generations,
shit, man. Come on. What the
yeah,
fuck's
it's
going
literally my job, and I'm terrible at doing it. Yeah, so
on?
it's
The last one you were like, this one's easy to describe, and then the second you got to the combat, you're like,
it's like, maybe it's not easy to describe. I think it's partially my fault for playing so many like weird games, like games that are just difficult to describe in general. Anyway, Haste is a very it's very similar to Sonic. It's like a 3D speed based roguelike where you just like sprint through these stages as fast as you can. And it is like truly a turn your brain off type of game. The story it's fine. Like it's not world changing. It's not terrible. It's serviceable. But the gameplay is really the focus. It pretty much lives and dies by like how much you enjoy the gameplay loop of landing on a slope and then boosting really fast off of it and then just like doing that again and again and again. It is a very addicting game. It is, I think, probably the game I played the most in my spare time in 2025. Despite that, I think I would put it in C on this list. It is great, but relative to a lot of the other games, it's not too crazy. It is, like I said, it's a turn your brain off kind of fun game, and it is still consistently getting updates, so that's great. But it's not like a generational type of game that everyone needs to play immediately. It is not a life-changing experience, but it's fun. It's fun. And so I think C is reasonable for this one.
Looks fluid, looks fun, looks, like you said, like I shut off your brain and just be fast. Go fast,
exactly.
and fast, and fast.
And I will say the music is incredible. I've been listening to the music all year. The music is so good. Oh my! Like I saw the game. I figured out, or I discovered the game through a trailer on YouTube, and I spent the next week trying to find the song in that trailer. And when I finally found it, I listened to it for like the next week straight. It's so, oh my goodness, the music is incredible.
Dude, hell yeah, man! Next game, Straftat. Straftat.
Yeah, I've never even heard of this one.
Dude,
Yeah,
okay, think. I keep doing that pause as if, and it's like, oh wait, it's a podcast. I gotta like keep sound going and flowing. Straftat. Okay, so imagine original Xbox era green. Think of like some like goopy little goblin guys, kind of. They're like untextured, but they're green, and you can like swap out different outfits. Like there's like a night outfit. There's like a microwave head you can wear. You can have like a pipe. You can smoke a cigar. You can have a cigarette. And you're just shooting.
You can smoke a cigar or have a cigarette? No way.
Yeah.
It's big.
As the player character, the UI in the beginning is so like Y2K 2000s coded, just kind of like really. You guys know what I mean when like you think of like original Xbox and you have it's like that alien feel to it. It's that literally, and it's a first person shooter. It's an arena shooter. You and 4 of your friends just grab guns around the arena and you just see who can shoot each other first, and it's fucking hilarious. It's so fun, really fast, just quick like pop pop pop, and then like you're out, you're dead. You're like shit. I got a shotgun. This guy has a sniper. This map is not good for me right now. And so you have to somehow like maneuver your way to get to him, and like either sliding, there's just crouching, you can sneak. So if you two can both be at like a standoff where it's like the entire arena is just quiet. And you're both crouching and you're just waiting to hear a noise from each other. And then you peek a corner, there he is. Pop, 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 pop. You just light him up, and it's hilarious. There's some rounds where it's like it's only melee weapons. You only have swords. And those ones I'm goated at, dude. I'm so good with the sword. I'm really bad at aiming. I'm not a good for FPS player at all, really, because it is kind of like pinpoint precision. But the second you get the sword in, I'm King Arthur. It is crazy. Just fun. It's just pure like fun with the boys. Just hang out, kill each other a whole lot, and move on to the next map. There's like over 200 maps as well. So like it's
crazy.
It doesn't feel stale. I don't know if this is me or my brother like putting in the input wrong, but it feels like we are hitting the same maps over and over again. So like maybe it's just like, I don't know if it's like shuffled right or if he is like activated the maps quite yet. Because we definitely played some like newer ones. We just had the base maps and then bought like the $5 DLC that got the 200 plus maps. But it didn't feel like that was activated until we eventually reached a new map. So I don't know what's going on with that. I believe the game was developed just by 2 brothers too. So very, very, very cool. Small team. Just the music as well. This is drum and bass, kind of breakcore style music that plays in the menu as well. You can have it play in game as well, which I like to do in game because it just gets me going, you know. Yeah, I think this game it's really good at what it does. It's a little lacking in content, but it doesn't really need more content because it's just pop in, shoot your friends for 15 minutes, and then that's it. So because I think I'm gonna do like a solid B. Just for this list. It's like it's not like a super high art cool indie game. It's just more like gabagool. It's kind of like you know.
Gabagool. It's like I remember I played like Splitgate for a weekend or whatever, and I was like, nice, that's fun. And then nothing ever happened with Splitgate ever again. It disappeared. No, there was no update. It just fell off the face of the earth. Nothing happened.
I'm looking at pictures and footage of this game. This does look extremely early 2000s-esque. Like it has
Oh, yeah.
that almost chunky feel to it with the menus. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hell of a time.
Given like everything that you've been playing recently, either from like a thematic standpoint or from a visual standpoint, in this case visual standpoint, I'm just sitting here like, somebody get this man another classic Fallout game. This poor guy, he's struggling. I could see it in his face. I could see it in everything he plays. Like, come on.
I'm gonna break down, bro. Stop.
Somebody give this man a classic Fallout game, please.
You kind of, yeah. I actually hadn't thought about that. It's like, this kind of does look like classic Fallout. That is yeah, good point. Good point. Moving on.
Yeah, moving swiftly on. This is one that's on multiple lists. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because this is both.
On all of our lists, or
It's not on mine.
Just me and
it's
you.
just you two.
It's us two. Okay, yeah. This is one of I think
I've only
two
played
like
Hades.
Asad Swoocer power hours that we're gonna have here.
yeah.
I will give my thoughts real quick first, just because I've played less of it than you have. I think I've only played maybe like it's got to be under 10 runs.
Okay, then yeah, you have played a bit less.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, this is I know that there's way more content in Hades 2 than there is in Hades 1. I've heard a lot of things that expand out the content, which I'm really, really excited for. I haven't been able to dig into it as much as I've wanted to. I just have so many other games to play, and I'm kind of playing this mainly on Steam Deck and everything, but more Hades is always a good thing for me. The lowest I could possibly put more Hades is an A, and even just like the small amount that I've played is an A. I could very easily see this be an S. Hades 1 is one of my favorite games ever. It's all of the things that I like. I like roguelikes. I like action games. I like good dialogue. I like fun characters, and I especially like Greek mythology. So this game kind of just like combines all the things that I really enjoy, and it's super polished. And I can't wait to play more of it, and I feel like it's just one of those games that I'm just going to continuously play for a really, really long time. Very similar to how I played Hades. So even with like maybe 5 hours under my belt, this is an A, and it's going to shoot up to an S. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah. I think more Hades is the best way to put it. Like, I think the worst thing you can say about Hades 2 is that it is too similar to Hades 1, but that's like saying, I don't know, the 2017 Warriors are a bad team because they're too similar to the 2018 Warriors. It's like, it's still the best team of all time. Like, it doesn't really
And
matter.
Landen understands that reference, of course.
Yeah, Landen gets that right.
Very timely.
Oh, this chocolate tastes too much like my favorite chocolate.
Right, exactly.
Like, oh no.
Right, like Hades 1 was a near perfect game. Like, I struggle to think of flaws in Hades 1. And Hades 2 was like, hey, what if we just do this, but a little better? It's like, oh, yeah, I'm down for that. That sounds good. It really, I struggle to think of negatives when thinking about this game. I'm trying to come up with an excuse to put it in anywhere but S, but I really can't. It's just a stellar game all around, and I think while I personally do hope the next Supergiant game isn't Hades 3, I highly doubt it'll be, but I hope it's not, just because I love how experimental they tend to get with their games. I struggle to think of a better sequel to what Hades could have been. Like, they upgraded in practically every aspect I can think of. The combat just feels better as a whole. The game itself feels pretty distinct and pretty unique compared to Hades 1. It does not feel like they just copy pasted Hades 1. It feels like they just expanded the game even further. Story is good. I think I like the story in Hades 1 a little bit more, but I mean,
I'd have to agree up until this point, but I've like just scratched the surface. So
yeah, like I think for some context, I think I got the base game ending, or like the normal ending, whatever you want to call it. I got to the point where credits rolled, and I stopped playing there for a while. And so at that point, I think the story is like 90% as good as Hades 1. And everything else is as good, if not a little better. This is all to say the game is easily an S, and I cannot see it anywhere else. It's a phenomenal game.
Yeah, I think we throw it in there. I mean,
pretty
future
comfortably.
proof future proof my opinion on there. It's got to be. I'll get the fuck out of there. I swear to God, I will kill you.
Landon.
I'll kick your ass, Landon.
Listen, I like
Landon,
Hades one. I like Hades one. Kind of overrated though. I'm gonna be
Fuck
real.
you. Fuck you.
I'll put it in
This is
I'm
the end of the
joking.
podcast.
This is not a
it.
discussion.
I'm joking.
No, you're not. I could say there's a twinge of reality behind those eyes, but you don't want to fight both of us because we're from New York. Kick your ass.
Oh yeah. I'm the only one with a Yankees hat on.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know if Kevin's wearing.
Hey, you don't know. Yeah, I might have a Yankees hat on. You never know.
You got a Mets.
Kevin has every single hat, like all the baseball teams stacked on. Like we have no idea. It's just all on top of each other
He's like, I
for any situation.
He is
Yeah.
wearing all the hats. Cool. All right. Yeah, Hades 2. Bonafide S. Kevin. What is
All
this?
right.
Mio, and
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know what the subtitle is.
I'm so excited to
Neo?
hear about this one because I've heard such great things, and I almost downloaded it last night, and then I was like, shit, I have to finish Silk Song. What am I doing?
So Mio's an interesting one. It is a Metroidvania that suffers from releasing close to Silksong, and so it's very hard to think about that game without thinking about Silksong. I will say straight up, I think Silksong is slightly better, but I personally enjoyed Mio a little more.
Whoa.
I don't dislike Silksong, to be clear. I love Silksong. Great game, wonderful game. But Mio is it's one of the most visually impressive games I've ever seen. The music is, oh my goodness, the music is phenomenal. There's voice acting in the game, which I think really helps with the atmosphere as a whole. The game is very, very good. I think its biggest weakness is probably some late game choices. It's interesting. We were talking about Fear and Hunger earlier with this idea of like the developer having a specific idea that they know is going to be miserable for the player, but they're going to do it anyway because they have this vision of what the game can be. Mio's late game feels very much like that. I won't say too much about it to not spoil, but like the developer had a very clear idea of what they wanted to do, and parts of that idea are really annoying to deal with. But the way this idea conveys the feeling that they're trying to convey is genuinely brilliant. It's not going to be for everyone. So I think I would put it maybe in B tier. But it's really good. They blend the movement and the combat in like this brilliant way, and practically the whole game feels like, I don't know if you guys have played Celeste. The whole game feels like Endgame Celeste. From
Jesus.
like an hour in. It is really, really, really good. Someone described it as, someone said it's more like a precision platformer than a Metroidvania, and I think that's generally true. But the map loops around in a very Dark Souls 1-esque way. For the first, I would say like hour and a half to 2 hours of the game, there's one checkpoint. And the world just like keeps looping back to that checkpoint over and over and over. And it is very, very good. There's not much more I can say about it. It's like I said, if the game didn't come out 6 months away from Silksong, I think many more people would probably be talking about it. Stellar game, like very, very, very good game.
Love it.
Yeah, this is again, to try and paint the picture for people who haven't seen it. It's like it's a little bit of a lighter color palette than Silksong. It's 2.5D, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this 2.5D, like a lot of depth to it from what I remember from like the trailers and everything.
It has that like sort of, you know how like Dispatch has like the outline to make it look more like it's like a comic kind of. It has that visual flair to it, to where it's like 3D, but it wants you to think that it's kind of 2D. You know?
Yeah, and it's just like very like the game that it probably reminded me of the most in terms of everything from its platforming to kind of its visual style to somewhat of its combat and the 2.5D nature of it is honestly Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I don't know if that's a fair. Have you played that game?
I've seen it. I don't think I've played it.
Okay. You don't think you've played it? You might have
I keep
like
saying I don't think I've played games. I'm 99% sure I haven't played it. Maybe I just played it and got amnesia. I have not played it as far as I know.
As far as you know, okay. Yeah, I'll make sure to convene with your fucking secretary about if you played it or not. But yeah, like it's very reminiscent of that, kind of reminiscent of the Ori games as well. Like just like the way that you like kind of bounce off of like obstacles in your platforming and like shoot off in different directions. That there's like some Ori-isms to that. But yeah, it's like it does seem to lean a lot more into the platformer side of Metroidvanias, and just honestly, yeah, if you're somebody who didn't vibe with Silksong, I would at least check this out, because yeah, I've heard a lot of people like almost have this debate between the two, and obviously Silksong for the most part comes out on top just because it's the bigger one with more like fanfare behind it. But yeah, I've heard really good things about this, and I want to check it out.
Yeah, I will say a small warning: the game is quite difficult. So if you bounce off of Silksong because Silksong was too hard, this is going like out of the frying pan into the fire. It's not going to be much better.
Is this harder than Silksong, do you think?
I don't know. I don't know if it's harder than Silksong. I know I'm much better at platformers than I am at like action 2D games. And so it's close. I think Silksong is probably more punishing. I think there are sections of this game that feel a little more difficult than practically anything in Silksong. But I think as a whole, Silksong might be a little harder. It's close. It's so close that like if you bounced off of Silksong because of difficulty, this is not going to help you. Like this is going to be as miserable, if not worse.
Okay. How long is it?
It's like 15, 20 hours long, maybe.
Oh, bless. Because I swear to God, Silksong is like 90 hours. What's happening?
Oh my God, the game is so long.
Really?
The game is incredibly long.
Jesus. Cool. Well, Mio, Memories in Orbit. That's the subtitle. Yeah.
That's the title, actually.
That is the title. It is a B. Next, we have
something just as artistic, just as beautiful.
Just as artistic. Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier. Welcome back to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Am I in the Iron Lung premiere?
Oh, dude, have you seen it?
I haven't, no. But I've heard he's pretty decent in it.
I've heard it's really good. And I'm like, damn, I wasn't excited about this movie, but I kind of want to go now. So I might set that up. Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's, 2014 indie horror hit. I mean, this game was a touchstone for my generation in particular. Like, just literally everybody. Yeah,
Landen's 14, just for everyone.
We're not that far apart.
Come on, man. If you talk to any Gen Z kid at all, they'll tell you all about Five Nights at Freddy's. And I was there when these games were.
You were there? You were at Freddy's?
I was at Freddy's. I was one of the kids that was stuffed into an animatronic suit.
My condolences.
Wait, Kevin, are you Gen Z? Do you fall into Gen Z?
I think so. I think I won't say my exact date, but I'm like 99% sure I'm in Gen Z.
No, you have to.
What's your year? Come on.
Can't not be.
My year is between 1990 and 2010.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I think that is Gen Z. It
is Gen Z. I mean, no. It's between more specifically.
Are you after 96?
Between 95. Yes, I'm after 96.
Why are you trying to dox him, bro?
Yeah. Hold on. What are you doing?
Well, 96 is the fucking cutoff. Like, what do you mean? That's what it.
Yeah. So what's your social security number again?
Somebody's gonna find you off of your fucking S logo.
8695. Anyways, so anyone who doesn't know what Five Nights at Freddy's is at this point, get educated. You know what these games are. At the time when they released, it was nothing like it. It was absolutely batshit crazy. The release cadence of these games was also crazy. Like, he released, was it 3, maybe 4 games within the span of a single year. They're relatively simple games. It's just static camera. You look left, you look right, light, door, and you fend off against deadly animatronic characters. I think these games are overrated as fuck. Crazy overrated.
That's a take. I didn't say it.
How am I trying to say this? I like the first game. I like the second game. The third game's penis butt. The fourth game actually is kind of a little cool too. I kind of like the fourth game. If there's one thing that these games don't do well, it's gameplay. Very boring, very predictable, very just nothing's special about them really. You're checking cameras, albeit when you're checking these cameras, you're getting really, really beautiful looking, like not vistas, but scenes of this pizza place. The art style of these games is unmatched. I actually really, really, really like them. Like just how textured they are. They look retro in a way that fits for the era that the game's trying to convey. They are creepy looking, and there's certain like scenes that are like imprinted into my head from when I was younger playing these games. But whenever I've gone back to these games, it's just always been like the most boring, predictable thing possible, and I don't get the hype around it. And mainly the hype is around the lore. The lore of these games is good for the most part. It gets too much. It falls apart very, very fast. But if you look at Five Nights at Freddy's 1 by itself, it's very good. Just a story about like kids gone missing. You have to like really look deep to like understand what is happening. There's strange occurrences like Golden Freddy popping out of nowhere, and you're like, what
Golden
the
Freddy?
fuck is that the bite of 87? Like there's plenty of really cool, like the bite of 87 is a cool thing. Like you're just sitting there, you got like the static of like the fan, and you're just listening to the fucking phone guy. Hello. I've been meaning to call you. And he just drops, yeah, and then there was the bite of 87. And you're like, the fuck's the bite of 87? What the fuck is that? Like, it leaves a lot to the imagination, and it's genuinely great. Like, it's some good stuff. And then Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is even better in that regard, as they have these, like, mini-games in it as well. These 2D kind of like interstitials where you get more of the lore, and it's like, oh, so like this is like why things are possessed, and there was a serial killer on the loose, and blah 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 blah. And then by the time you get to 3, it just all falls apart. And then there's like sister location. I don't even know anything about that. All I know is that it's just stupid, and there's a character called Circus Baby, and that is the worst name I've ever heard in my entire life. Five Nights at Freddy's. D.
There it goes. Finally got one.
Yeah,
Got one in the D tier.
I had to put one on the list. I don't know. What do you guys fuck with Five Nights at Freddy's?
You guys fuck with Five Nights. This is like a round table of like 12-year-olds. Have you seen the meme of like
Is
those like
Fortnite
kids?
Overrated?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. It's that bad. Like, you guys fuck with Five Nights at Freddy's? No, I don't give a shit. I could not give less of a shit about this series. I feel like it's just, to me, it always looked like a single gimmick of jump scare flashlight, and then I don't know how that got as far as it did, but I guess the answer is usually kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that carried it. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot. I mean, hey, Matt Pat, fucking, I think he has like a PhD and is like obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's. So
Listen, the lore, like, it's, first of all, reactions. Second of all, lore. Like, it was just really fun to watch people experience this game. But playing it as a game just stinks. It just stinks. Anyways.
yeah. Kevin, you played this?
No, absolutely not. Certainly not.
Absolutely not.
Certainly not.
I think I might have watched some playthroughs in my youth. I think the only positive thing that came out of Five Nights at Freddy's, to me at least, was the success that it brought game theory and like the. Wait, what did you say?
What was that, Landen?
No.
Are we moving to Landen's Gooner Corner here? Is that what's happening?
Oh,
The
yeah,
return
boy.
of a classic.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, I think the most positive thing for me was the success that it brought game theory, because I like that channel quite a lot, and it's quite an inspiration for my channel. But like, I don't know. I have nothing positive to say about this series, so I should just.
I mean, the art style is cool, right? Like,
I should just not speak on Five Nights at Freddy's.
you don't think so? Oh, god damn, brother. All right.
If
Oh my
I speak
gosh.
I don't know if you guys have seen that video where the guy's getting interviewed and he's like, if I speak, big trouble, big trouble.
I've seen
That's
that.
that's me right now. I prefer not to speak.
He's made fun of 3 fan bases now, so I don't know.
I'm completely cooked at this point.
You're gonna get the heat, man. All right, Sword of the Sea.
Yeah, Sword of the Sea is like Five Nights at Freddy's, but good. As nothing, literally nothing. No, Sword of the Sea is it's a game by Giant Squid, who are the people who did the Pathless. If you've played that,
Shout out.
and they're also a branch off, and Abzu I think is also them.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And yeah, they're like a branch off of that game company who did Journey and Flower. So basically, it's just like both companies do very similar things of like very subtle like environmental storytelling and exploration, and everything is just like really really nice to play, and there's like great music and everything like that. And Sword of the Sea kind of just continues that. I played this whole thing in like one sitting. I think it took me like 3 hours. And yeah, the music is really great. You basically play as this dude exploring like sand dunes and seas and stuff like that on a sword. So that's kind of like your little like skateboard hoverboard thing. And there's not a lot of like, it's not a complicated game that you're never doing like a bunch of big tricks or like going up a half, like to a degree you are, but you're really not playing it as like a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater type of game. It's much more linear puzzle solving 3D. It's one of those games where I think some people might play it and be like, what was the point of that? Which is like always like kind of like an unfortunate place to be at. But just if you want to experience something that is, we've talked a little bit about like games where you can turn your brain off and just have fun. This is like a condensed version of that experience, and it's not like replayable or anything like that. But if you just have like a few hours to put to the side and you just want to play something really simple, or if you have like, if somebody's young and wants to play something like this, if somebody just wants to like take a break for a few hours, and like it's just such a nice experience to go through. Nothing quite as powerful as Journey, I would say, but really really fun time. I'd probably throw it in a B tier.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Cool.
Makes sense.
Love it. I love a
Sounds
good
cool.
skating game. It's just just fun. Just move. Go fast.
Yeah.
Similar to Haste.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, the more speed, the more fun.
Exactly.
Type
Yeah.
deal. Great. What is this next game? I can't read this.
That one is Geomythica.
Geomythica.
It has, when I first saw it, it had, I think, like 20 reviews on Steam. I don't know where it's sitting at right now. It might be around the same spot. It's like a mix between Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger, and it's great. Like, I think it's very clear where its inspirations came from, but like, it has its
Oh my god, that was the most aggressive clearing of that. It's like you got up into your mic and went,
Sorry, I must have leaned forward. My bad.
You're good, bro.
It's the so it's a mixture of like Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger, and it has the combat is turn-based for the most part. You can alter it a little bit. It's kind of like if you've played Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's very similar to that, where like for the most part you can move around a little bit, but like it's basically a turn-based game. But it's good. It's like it takes place in the 90s. It's got like that very 90s vibe to it. It's a very nostalgia heavy game, I guess, for a lot of people. Maybe not as much for Landen because he didn't exist back then, but like
No.
for most people, it's a very nostalgia heavy game. I think it captures that era very well.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like an NES game.
Exactly. It looks exactly like an NES game. But yeah, it's a great game overall. It doesn't change the world, doesn't break the mold in any real way. But it's solid. It's like, I think 15, 20 hours, decent RPG, great team building, great customization, super unique, I guess, character building. Like the way the characters interact with the gameplay is super unique. But yeah, I mean, it's a solid game. I would probably put it around C tier, I would say.
Gotcha.
It's decent.
Shout out retro-looking games that play like modern games.
Yeah,
always fun.
exactly.
Ooh. And
Love
speaking
it.
of,
Yeah, this looks sick.
well, no, not really. I wouldn't
Yeah,
say.
not
I
at
wouldn't
all.
say
Like,
games
that's
like that
not
at all.
close.
Inscription. This was the first game. This and Metal Gear Solid 3 were my first Steam Deck games, and it made me fall in love with the machine. I've yet to have an experience as good as Inscription. I'm just gonna put it. I'm gonna put it an S. I'm gonna put it.
Yes,
Okay. Well,
yes, you are.
Okay.
You absolutely
you think so?
are.
You think so? Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right.
I'll let you
Looking
handle
for
this
permission?
because yeah, I'll let you handle this because it is of your recent games, but so it wasn't on my
Me?
list.
no.
No, Landon.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were,
I'll let him.
I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about Silk Song. And
Oh,
me. I'm
Silk
like,
Song.
Are you
No,
sure
no,
you
no,
want
no,
me to
no,
do
no,
that?
No. Yeah, I'll let Landon take lead. Kevin, have you played Inscription?
No, but I've watched a lot of it.
All right, go for it, Landon.
Card game. Spooky card game.
Ooh.
It's not a spooky card game? Dude, Inscription is freaking whack. It is crazy. I don't want to say too much without it, spoiling it, because I'll at least lean heavy into the first part of this game, but it is an experience for sure. You're stuck in a cabin with this freaky looking guy. It's just a pair of eyeballs staring at you, and you're forced to play this game with him, basically. You can stand up, you can look around the cabin, find a bunch of little oddities, and eventually gain context clues as to what your situation is. But inevitably, you have to just sit down and play the game. And you have to keep playing it until something happens. You die, and then the game has like one of the most interesting mechanics is to where when you die, a photo of you is taken and then turned into a new card that will be part of your deck, which is really interesting.
So let me clarify that real quick.
Yeah.
The way that it works is that you get these death cards upon like when he says when you die, it's a roguelike. So when you end, a picture's taken of you, and you get what's called a death card. So you get to combine a bunch of features from cards that you already had during your run. And you like stitch them together into this like, and the game is like very much like when it stitches cards together or like combines them together, it literally like, even if you're doing it throughout the game, it like stitches them. Like there are stitches on the card and like some crazy scientist is like the one who like put it together and it's like this monstrosity of a thing. But essentially these death cards can become like really, really powerful because you can take like, there's an element of randomness to it, but like the attack power from one card, the cost from another card, and like whatever, and then you can make this card, and then in the next run you won't necessarily get it right away, but it'll be from like the pool that you can get. So like you could be going through and there's like an option to choose from a bunch of different cards, and that death card can appear during that selection, and any of your death cards from previous runs can appear during that selection. So like you can make it like it's kind of it's for the most part roguelite, where there's like not a ton of progression that you have like between runs, but there's a couple things specifically with like going around the cabin and picking up a couple things, and then with the death cards that really does let you get more powerful and like give you access to better cards as you go along.
Yeah, very well put. Well, like that was incredible. It's amazing. It's just a really it scratches. I don't play card games often. In fact, I kind of don't really care for card games, but it scratches that like want to play a card game in a way to where you don't have to learn a bunch of rules to get into it. It's fairly accessible. Like of course you have to learn some rules. It is a card game after all, but it's not nearly as daunting as I thought it would be going into it. And by the end of it, I was addicted. I was hooked. And I actually had, they're gone now because I packed them away. But when Asad and I went to PAX, we bought some Inscription playing cards, like the actual pack themselves.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
boy. I don't even think I saw what you got. Would you do a little
nice.
card reveal?
Let's see. I don't even know which ones are the nice. I mean, these aren't even like the cards that are in the actual game, to be fair.
Yeah.
They're much more like retro. I don't know. It's like kind of glaring, but
Yeah, there's no way I would see that. That's fine. That's cool.
but yeah, no, really cool shit. And I will say a big reason why. To be clear, this is being put in S tier. Really quick, we had some technical difficulties, so I forget where I was at. But the one thing that I wanted to point out with Inscription before we ended off on it is it's being put in S tier by two people who are not card game people. I am also not a card game person. This game is the only game that has fully convinced me to get more into card game stuff, and I've tried playing more since, and I've enjoyed them. I probably haven't enjoyed any of them as much as I've enjoyed Inscription. It has some of the most visceral sound effects. Everything you do, they're like, there are games like, for example, Slay the Spire, where your cards are literally mapped towards like actual actions of people fighting each other, and yet it's like 10 times less impactful than just your card in Inscription going and hitting another card. Like just the way that it hits the card, and then like the bones fall onto the scales and everything like that. It's just so expertly done. It's such a fun, like even just like it's one of those games like, please don't play this with like music on in the background unless you've like fully experienced a lot of it. Like even the soundtrack, there's no soundtrack that sounds anything like Inscription's. It invented its own type of music, I swear to God. It's just like so weird and culty and hymn like. Yeah, there's not enough good things I can say about Inscription, especially like the first act of it. I
don't remember a lot of video game noises unless it's a very like unless it's a game I've played a lot of, or if it has a very, very distinct soundscape, and Inscription is one of those games. I can still very clearly hear like the way like the paper lies on like the wooden table, how it sounds to just like move your little like character piece like to a new location. Like it is incredible. But
yeah, I literally like when we played we played a little like guessing sound game on the podcast before, and I put Inscription on there, and I went through like maybe like 100 sounds before I found one where I was like, okay, this one isn't a dead giveaway, because all 100 before those I was like, he's gonna know what that is like the first time.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight Silk Song. You two take this away.
Beautiful. So yeah, this is on both mine and Kevin's list. It's another power hour, and he was freaking out before because I said he was gonna have to take the lead, but he is gonna have to take the lead because he played more of this game than I have. I'm still like not even, I don't even think halfway through Act 2. So you're gonna have to take the reins here, buddy, and you're gonna have to take some of the heat.
If I speak, big trouble, big trouble. But no, so my feelings on Silk Song are a little complicated. I think, to be abundantly clear, it is an incredible game. In my personal opinion, it was like top 3 best games released last year. Objectively a masterpiece. It is in contention for the best Metroidvania ever made. It is visually and auditorially stunning. This man is scared. No end to the list of wonderful things you could say about Silk Song. It's really good, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. And I'll explain why. So none of my grievances with Silk Song are particularly unique. Nothing that you haven't heard before. Like I don't like runbacks. I think they're annoying. I think the game is a little too punishing sometimes. But like it's really, they're relatively minor things. I think as a whole, the biggest takeaway I think for Silk Song, and especially for its difficulty, because I think that's such a contentious point, is there's this idea that Silk Song is a sadistic game that actively hates the player, and I don't think that's true. I think it is a game that makes very deliberate choices, and a game that has a very clear vision of what it wants to be. Not to the degree of like Fear and Hunger by any means, but it is the biggest thing is like so many things in Silk Song. Like you can't find a thing in Silk Song that is not there for a clear reason, right? So people always complain about being broke all the time in the game, but like that's trying to convey a certain idea. I won't say too much because I don't want to spoil it. People complain about how hard the game is. I'm people, to be clear. But like it is it is hard for a reason, right? Like it's trying to get you to interact with the world. It's trying to get you to memorize these paths. Like there's no fast travel in the game, or there's limited fast travel in the game. But again, like that's to get you to explore the world more. And so while I personally am not a huge fan of Silksong, I think you kind of have to be crazy to put it anywhere but S. Like I think it was especially clear when I started playing Mio, Memories in Orbit. I started playing that game a couple months after Silksong. And immediately it was like, oh wow, it's very easy to go blind to the quality of games like this, because like there are so many little things that you don't realize. Like the audio design of Silksong is incredible. Just like the look of the world is so good, and like every single mechanic is so intentional, and the way the combat is built, the way the movement is built, the way the bosses interact with the game, like it's a very intentional game, and I think that's astonishingly impressive. And again, maybe I'm not the biggest fan of it, but like if you like Metroidvanias, you should play Silksong. I think it's pretty much a full stop there.
You know, I'll do something weird, which is that, like I said, I've played a little bit less than you have. And I would say that I am a fan of this game, and I do really like it. But at the current point in time, I would put it at an A.
Really?
And I do think, like, from what I've heard, like, it does have like a lot of really great sections later on. So who knows? That'll probably change. Maybe it's not fair to be ranking this when I've played like the amount that I have, but it's my thoughts on the whole like difficulty debate especially is just like, I don't get it. I don't. I feel like I go through the same rigmarole every single time. Like there's certain games that I feel like are unfairly difficult. I don't feel like this is one of them. I think like I've played games like this before. I don't think it's anything that crazy. Yeah, like the one thing that I will agree on is that it's very annoying that there's so many attacks that do double mask damage, especially when it's like a contact hit that does double mask damage. For anyone who doesn't know, that's just like your health points in Silksong are essentially, they're these masks. If you get hit, you should take one mask of damage of your like 5 or 6 that you have, especially early on. But a lot of bosses do 2, even if you just touch them, which is very annoying. That is definitely very annoying. And is probably like the biggest contributor to a lot of the most difficult elements of this game. But I don't think anything platforming wise has been particularly difficult. It has a lot of the same things that I really love about Hollow Knight, the original. It expands the combat system. It looks great, feels great. I think one of the biggest things about Hollow Knight is that it's not, you know, there's some games that are big and there's like a lot of environmental stuff going on. Again, like when I think of it for a Metroidvania, I think Ori. When I'm like thinking of like going through the sand and going through like the skies and stuff like that. It's like you know, it's outdoors, it's indoors, it's underground, it's all of this. For the most part, Hollow Knight is a series of hallways, and like rooms that have platforms on them. So a game like Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, also a game that I love, is like that. I probably couldn't name you a single area or like remember a single specific area from Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Again, a game that I love. Every single area in Hollow Knight, in the first game and in the second game, is like so distinct. I mean, looking at the background over here, like the way that the embers fall out of like this area where there's like this like just a bunch of like smithing going on, and then like this golden hue over these towns, or like just the way that it uses color is incredible, and you can really like tell. Really good, places apart, and the lore is incredible and all that. Honestly, I don't, there's nothing in this. I think I've liked it more and more as time has gone on, as I've played a little bit more of it. So maybe it does end up in S tier, but for me right now, it's just like really, really, really fun, solid game. Nothing that's like particularly made me go like, whoa, I was not expecting this from a Hollow Knight sequel. It feels like to me more Hollow Knight, but in like a slightly different gameplay direction. So I don't know, maybe where would you put this final say?
I think it's an S, and that's not just because I'm afraid of like Silksong fans finding me, but it's just like I think it's very telling when you play Silksong and then you immediately switch to play literally any other Metroidvania. Just for 10, 15 minutes, you'll instantly start to realize things that Silksong was just like masterful at that you didn't even notice. Like things, just like little things that really do add up. I don't want to hate on Mio by any means, but like in Mio, there are sections where it feels less, I guess, tight for a lack of a better term. Like it feels less mechanically sound in some ways. But like in Silksong, it feels so, it feels like the game was tested thousands of times before like every individual thing was put into the final game.
Yeah.
So like I genuinely,
Except for double
like I
mass
said,
damage.
except for that was the one thing that wasn't tested yet. But yeah, like it's, I don't know. I
All right, throw
would
that
feel
throw
crazy.
that shit in S.
Yeah,
Whatever.
exactly. I would
Let's
feel
do
crazy
it.
putting it anywhere
Sure?
but S.
Let's do it. Might as well.
I'm
Let's do
pretty
it. Come
confident.
on. It's Hollow Knight.
To be clear,
Silksong. Come on.
Like, to be clear, I do not enjoy Silksong that much. I think the game was great, but like, it is not my personal favorite game. I would feel crazy not putting it in S. Like, it's just that good. So,
I feel like we have too many games in S right now.
To be fair,
those might be the last
games
right there.
Yeah,
and I feel like
those are 2 Game of the Year nominees. Like,
They're the last
That's
ones
for
for
you.
me.
Okay.
So
Yeah, like I may or may not have
I think
any
I have
more
one
in
more in
S,
S.
but I'd have to think
I know
about
you
it,
got
but-
one more in S, Landen,
Yeah.
or at least I think. But okay, we gotta fire
do.
these off quicker. Come on,
Come
We
on!
really gotta wrap this up.
Metal Garden is the next
Come
game. Kevin, I don't know if I mentioned this game to you, but it's really, really cool, solid grayscale. This was the indie corner game of last episode that I usurped from Asad. Basically,
Yes.
it's another first-person shooter indie. This one's a single-player campaign. It takes place in this gigantic metal cube that has its own ecosystem within the cube. It's very gray. It's very dull. You look up and there's clouds. There's plant life. It doesn't make sense, but it's just how it works. You crash land. You have a gun. You're just going around. You have a double jump, a slide. You're shooting people, exploring, and it's fantastic. Love it. Really, really great game. It's also very short too, which is a plus for me. But I think it's a little rough around the edges. You can tell one person made it, and some of the animation work. I think the enemies are just kind of more cannon fodder. They're just like they're like Fallout NPCs. They kind of just like float towards you, and then you just like shoot them, and it's like I got them. But the ragdoll is really fun. Dude, just like watching them, just like you shoot them in the head and they'll like spin around like fucking crazy. There's almost like it has its own like gravity in a sense. It doesn't feel like Earth, and where like you just kind of jump and you're immediately down. Like everything feels a little bit more floaty, which really works for this really alien looking world. I think I'm gonna put this in the same tier as Straftat, just a different avenue of indie FPS that I really, really, really like and appreciate. Just wish there was like more enemy variety and they had a little bit more going for them other than they'll just kind of look at you and shoot or attack you with a melee weapon. But yeah, Metal Garden B.
Yep. Hell yeah.
good.
Undertale.
Yeah, I might have lied.
Yeah.
Whoops. I forgot. I
You
forgot
didn't
this is on
play
there.
it?
No, to be fair, it's for me. And I know where this game is about to end up. For me, I will start off with saying I think this is an A. And the only reason, there's one reason for that, and it's just that it's not quite my style of game. Like, it is the best version of not quite my style of game, is how I would
Inscription?
describe it. Like, I don't think that's true, but so maybe there is, oh no, oh God, what have you done? I think the difference is that Inscription truly made me a fan of that type of game to the point that I've been chasing that high, versus like Undertale, as much as I enjoyed it, and finally playing it after all these years and just being like, okay, like people have talked about this enough. I made a whole video about RPGs. I was like, I'm trying to get into more of them. So let me try this out. I played it and I really really enjoyed it, but it doesn't make me go like I need to play more RPGs
That's
like
fair.
this.
Yeah.
Or like turn-based RPGs or anything like that. There were honestly some games that I played during my year of playing RPGs that made me feel more like that. Like Metaphor made me feel more like that. I'm like, man, I really got to get more into this genre. Whereas this, I am interested in Deltarune, but like I'm not chomping at the bit to go play that. Whereas like if Inscription had like a sequel that was somewhat related to like the card game-ness of Inscription 1, like I would be on that in a heartbeat. So yeah, I think Undertale lands at an A for me. It's really funny. Obviously, like everyone knows that basically everything that you could say about Undertale has been said like a billion times. Really great writing, really great like side activities, really fun combat. Like I do think it does a really fun real-time combat system within everything, within the turn-based elements.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. I think Undertale
Yeah.
is an A and nothing more. Kevin, do you concur?
Really? Okay.
I concur. I think it's absolutely an A. I'm not sure what else it could possibly be.
This is an S. Come on. What do you who do you think we are, huh?
Listen. I'll say this.
Oh no.
Undertale is.
Oh no.
Hear me out.
Oh shit. We shouldn't have got him on here, dude.
Undertale is an A explicitly because Deltarune exists. If Deltarune didn't exist, I would put Undertale in S. But hold on, let me explain. But I also can't put Deltarune in S because it's not done yet.
It's not done. Yeah.
Once Deltarune is done, I promise you, once that game is done, it's going to go down as one of the best RPGs of all time. And we're going to compare that game to Undertale in a similar way that we look at Hades 1 and 2 or like Silksong and Hollow Knight.
Okay.
That's my prediction. That's my mildly hot take. However, if you want to put Undertale in S, like I can't argue with that. Like I don't think
this
that's
is very
crazy.
interesting. Actually, we have someone who just is brand new to Undertale, someone who's played Undertale way back in the day, hasn't played Deltarune, and then someone who played Undertale and Deltarune is is a genuine fan of Toby Fox products in general. I think this is a very interesting combination here, to where I'm of the mind Undertale is a bona fide S based purely on, I guess like cachet in like the indie space matters, like hype. So I guess putting Five Nights at Freddy's at a D is kind of insane considering how genuinely popular those games are. Undertale.
Yeah, if hype matters, that does have to be an S.
When I think of indie game, I think of Undertale. It is the quintessential indie to me. One guy,
I'd argue in the last 10 years, the only thing that could put a candle to Undertale is Hollow Knight in terms of like
100%.
the indie game.
Yeah.
Even something like
Definitely.
Hades, I don't think has that same.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Yeah.
And I think by itself, it works. Like it has a start, it has an end. It's replayable. It's very funny. The soundtrack is, oh my God, dude, that's another medium.
Soundtrack
It's the
is
song
crazy.
that plays in like the Heat level. Is like I listen to that regularly. Like it is genuinely one of my favorite songs of all time. I've listened to it literally since I was a kid playing this game, and I don't know, man. It's an S. Come on. Like I understand Deltarune might like usurp it in some way, in which once I play on Deltarune, I might be inclined to agree with you. But as a product by itself, it's certainly an S.
By itself, I would put it in S. Like I'm not necessarily like I wouldn't die on the hill that like
I'm hearing that you
Undertale
would.
is 95%. I think it's a phenomenal game. Like I don't really think you can argue that it is not one of the best indie games of all time. Like it's truly incredible. Like I said, maybe I'm looking too far ahead right now, and like my prediction that Deltarune will usurp Undertale and that it'll be like one of the greatest games ever made and all that. But yeah, like I think it's reasonable to put in an S. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. But yeah, cool. I think it's fine. I wouldn't change it.
Well,
so where are you thinking?
Speaking of Deltarune,
now we're gonna have to.
Yeah,
Deltarune, I'm putting an A. I think Deltarune would be an A because it's not finished. If it were finished, it would be
the
an
only
S.
reason I haven't played it.
As of right now, yeah, like I think as of right now, so I played Deltarune last year. I played all 4 chapters last year, and it was, man, that game was incredible. Like it kind of reminded me why games are so much fun and like why I started playing video games in the first place. It has a very familiar feel to it, but a very personal feel to it. Like there's a lot of heart and there's a lot of soul in the game where like you can clearly tell how much Toby Fox cares about this medium and how much he cares about like telling this specific story that he wants to tell. And it's so good. Like even the gameplay is phenomenal. Like people talk about the story so much and the jokes and the writing, but like even the gameplay is stellar. But yeah, I think, like I said, explicitly because it is not done yet, I cannot put it in S. But it genuinely just feels like Undertale, but a little bit better at practically everything. But again, it's not done, so I can't. Put
I
it
will
any
say
higher.
I have heard so. My buddy Isaac is like Undertale and Deltarune, like that is his shit. Like sincerely, like that is his obsession. He loves those games. He cherishes them forever. And he's argued that technically, he's like, you should just get into Deltarune because part of Deltarune is being a part of the audience and watching it release episodically and like the theory crafting and like understanding what what is going to happen next. And it's less so wait for it all to come out, because by the time it's all out and it's all there, you'll have missed kind of like him speaking to the audience and to an extent, because there's as far as I understand, there was like a theory around maybe Deltarune Chapter 3, because 4 was the one that just most recently released, right?
3 and 4
at the same
came
time?
out at the same time.
Maybe it was with 2 then. There was a theory going around that one of the major bosses in Deltarune 3 or 4 is going to be Woody from Toy Story, actually for real. Like there was sincere like videos created, like people were like, look at all the evidence was sound, and it was like, it's gonna be Woody, and he threw a nod in there that it was like about, like they were pretty damn close, because he was gearing up towards I guess a boss that was like akin to Woody or something like that. I don't know. But here, so like I heard him talking about the theory, and then when Deltarune 3 and 4 came out, he was like, yeah, he like did something there. I was like, oh, that's cool. And so there's a ton of that from what I hear. So I guess we're not giving it the most fair shake. Part of it is just like I have so much I want to play right now that it's just like I'll get to it when it's finished, and that's my excuse. But technically, I should just get into it now and then wait for the final one, you know? So
Yeah, you absolutely should. Yeah, I mean, to be clear, I think I'm putting it in A more out of principle than anything else. Like, I think in terms of pure quality and in terms of the experience that you get out of playing the game, especially alongside the releases, because the community is hilarious. The community is great.
for the most part.
And so, like, with all that, I would put it in S. But, like, just because it's not done, I can't put it in S. Like, it's just out of principle.
Totally agree. It's like it's a Beyond the Spider-Verse situation. It's like, this is a great movie.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
It's not finished.
Yeah.
It is exactly like that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Asad, did you have anything, or do you want to?
I don't know anything about Deltarune.
Don't care.
Don't worry.
No, I'm Not a Human. This game came out recently. Very spooky kind of game. It's, to put it simply, it's an apocalypse scenario where you're stranded into your house. The daytime is super obnoxiously bright and dangerous to be in. You can't be out during the day. So you got to wait for things to happen during nighttime, basically. And when nighttime comes around, some crazy shit happens, basically. You look through your window, you get a phone call, you make deliveries, and you communicate with your neighbor. But all while that is happening, you start to notice things are getting weirder and weirder, and there's almost these like invaders on Earth posing as humans. And it's up to you to help people out if you want, because you need information and resources, and you want to get, some story tidbits and help people out, or weed them out and be like, no, you got to get off my property because you are a skinwalker, basically. And so there's these distinct kind of clues. It's like the people have perfectly white teeth. Their eyes are going to be red. They have no hair on their armpits. Clues like that, to where you have to discern, like, I don't know. It like, is this person a skinwalker alien, or am I just being like prejudiced against him because he's kind of ugly looking, you know? Because there's some freaky looking motherfuckers in this game that aren't aliens and that you kind of house, and like it's interesting to get their story tidbits and to learn more about them. But then you'll get into situations where one of them has killed another person in the house, and it's like, who was it? And you got to weed them out of the house, basically. All while you're slowly learning what is happening in the outside world as like, as basically the government is kind of like cleaning up the area around you, and they're knocking on your door and they're questioning you now. And it's like, you're not safe from anybody. It's just isolated into a cabin. That being said, I thought it was fine. It was great. It was cool. It wasn't anything too spectacular. I really think the world building in particular is really fun. But the pure gameplay loop of just like walk around your house, look through a few windows, see what happens next, it just kind of got stale over time. So for that, I'm going to put it into a C, given the list here. I didn't have as much fun with it as like Straft had or Metal Garden or anything like that, but I did like it more than Five Nights at Freddy's. So we'll put it there.
Yeah, that's unique. I really didn't know much about this game. That does sound pretty cool. Yeah. Velvet Ecstasy.
Damn. Okay. It's cool.
It's fine. It's good. I'm tired to talk about this game. I talked about it in 2 videos. Yeah. It's old school RPG type. It's big, except now it has some analog horror visuals. It takes place in Europe, and there's like a little bit of a goofy flair to it. But yeah, it's fine. It's just I wish it didn't have a lame combat system. That's it. Like the combat is so stupid easy, and it's just like, okay, I hit that guy with my sword and he's dead.
When I was watching your video about it, I was like, damn, really? I was like, really? Because the combat looks pretty much identical to Fear and Hunger, basically. But Fear and Hunger's combat is much more robust. It's like you got to chop off limbs and like there's it's I don't know. That's very disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those combat systems where it's like, this could have a skip combat button, and I probably would use it.
Yeah, it's
Kevin,
unfortunate.
UFO 50. This game's
UFO 50's
really fucking cool. Yeah,
heavy one. Yeah, like it's really cool. It's so dense. Like there's so much in that game. It is a collection of 50 different games, all like kind of mini games, almost like a WarioWare, but like much more fleshed out. Like each individual game could be its own individual release. Yeah, game's great. Like there are literally dozens of games in it that you could play. I could not tell you a single one of my personal favorites off the top of my head because I just don't remember because it's been so long since I played it. But yeah, like the amount of content in the game I think is extremely impressive. And it feels very much like those classic games that you used to play as a kid, like NES games and SNES games. And it's cool to see the variance between the games too. Like some feel very one note and very simple, while others feel like if this were released on Steam, it would have 10,000 reviews. So yeah, like it's a solid game. I would probably put it in probably B, just because of how unique it is and how much you can do. But yeah, it's solid.
Yeah, it's really cool. I was watching some streamers play it, and just like I was just transfixed by how like it's an oddity of a game. Like I was like, this is so just strange. And I really, really appreciate that about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things before I move on from it is just like it kind of has its own like the premise of it is that it's almost like its own console, right? Like it's as if this like lost console from the 90s popped up and it has all these games on it, as if like an NES sister console came out and nobody knew about it, and then all of a sudden it popped up and it just has all these preloaded games, which is really cool,
dude. That is and very really unique. Cool.
Really
sure it's not a name.
Yeah. It's also by the dev. Who is it by? Is it by Derek Yu? No, it's not. Is it?
I don't know.
You think this
guy
off the
top of my head, I have no clue.
He did another big indie game, UFO 50.
Oh yeah, it is Derek Yu. That's correct.
Yeah, so he did Spelunky.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those indie devs that is like, he's very well respected in terms of his like eye for design and things like that. Like he has like a book about design and everything like that. If people are interested in that, by the way, you should check out his book. It's really good.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right. Next game we got Peak. I played this a lot this year. Great friend swap game. Just really fun. It's very zen. Just climbing. I love climbing, and it scratches your monkey brain. Just getting up high and then seeing if you can land a jump and helping your buddy up as he's, using this rope that you just let down. It's very, it's pretty deep, all things considered. But it kind of like it lost its luster like shortly after I played it. Like it was like, oh, that was great for like a bit, and then you kind of just get bored of it after a while. I would put it in a C, I think, because I had much more fun with like Shaftat. Like there's genuinely like more like smiles per minute playing like a multiplayer shooter than Peak. Although some of the smiles and laughters I've had playing Peak have been like some of my favorite gaming memories. So, like genuinely, it is a ton of fun. So that's not to say that the game's bad by any means. It's great. It's just could be better. Asad, off.
Yeah, off is a C. My DoorDash order is coming in. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here.
All right, we can speed run these last few.
This is I feel like a lot of people who love this genre would put this at least an A. My reasoning for it is, again, I just could not vibe with the gameplay. It was way too simple. This one actually does have basically like an auto battle system. If you want to just like skip it. This died? No, it didn't. Something else happened. Yeah, it has a really great world. It has a lot of like it. I said it in my video. It's really good at being off kilter in genuine ways. And I really liked learning more about the world and the lore and everything like that. And it is the blueprint of a lot of games, to the point that like Toby Fox actually did some of the music for the remastered version of this game. There's like one or two songs I think that he helped out with. Because it was an inspiration for Undertale, and it really popped off in that era of like RPG Maker games that kind of made it big. But I could not get past how little I was vibing with the gameplay systems, and just because that was such a big part of the game, I can't put it that much higher. But it wasn't something I straight up disliked.
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense. Kevin, Ender Magnolia.
Ender Magnolia is because I haven't upset the Silksong fans enough, it's my personal favorite Metroidvania of last year. I would put it probably in B. Like it's very good at addressing
your rankings make no goddamn sense, by the way.
To be clear, I only put it in B because I do not think it is better than Mio, and I can't really put it above that. I might change Mio to A and then keep it in B.
We can,
but yeah, like I think
once we're done, we can
reorganize
organize some of these to get it more concisely.
Yeah,
fuck no, we can't.
It's a very safe Metroidvania. It's a very safe game. It does a very good job of like addressing a lot of the major problems. Like there are no runbacks in the game. You don't lose anything on death. It's a very, I don't know, it's a chill game. I like it a lot, but it doesn't change the game by any means. But it's solid. It's decent.
Rain World. I actually I feel complicated putting it where I am going to put it. I kind of didn't like it. Gonna be real. It's cool.
Oh, no.
It's very cool, actually. I love the idea of the game. It being its entire own ecosystem, like a digital ecosystem, is awesome. But the actual step-by-step gameplay itself, I was really having a hard time with. Partly due to the game is just hard by itself, but also like I felt like there wasn't enough that I could do when I was in encounters early on. It's like I felt like I should have been given more. It wasn't clear how the weapons work exactly, and then like I just kept dying, trial and error, blah 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 blah. But it didn't pique my curiosity as hard as a Fear and Hunger did, I guess. To where it's just like I'm willing to stick through this because I know that there's something cool beyond the veil here. And it's like, I do understand that there's something cool beyond the veil with Rain World, but it's not good. It's not sticking me as much as it should. It is still very good though. Presentation wise, it's awesome. The gameplay of like the actual platforming is really cool. And some of the mechanics are really, really well done, but I think I'm going to put it in a D if I'm going to be real.
Oh my God. Next to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Listen, I like Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't think the D list is a bad list, man. These are just small, great games. Come on. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, I will say like Rain World has always piqued my interest more as a concept than it has something that I actually want to like play through. Like you said, the ecosystem is great. It's also like the kind of the poster child for a type of world that people really respect, which is a world that doesn't care about you. It like you talking about how you don't have that many tools at the very beginning, like you just feel like you have no real agency in the encounters and things like that, is very much intentional from everything that I've like read and seen about the game, where it's just like, yeah, you don't matter in this world. And it truly is like there's so many things going on and you are just a small part of it, and you're kind of just like making your way through it. And again, that's why I like it as a concept, but I just don't think that it would be the kind of game that I really sink my teeth into, for similar reasons as I wouldn't want to do it with Fear and Hunger. But it's a very great. I like that this game exists. I'll put it like that.
I feel complicated about it because I feel like I haven't given it enough of a fair shake to definitively say it's a D. It's just my time spent with it I wasn't enjoying myself as much as I thought I was with it.
Yeah. I honestly, I think that even the devs would not be like that upset at that reaction, because fun fact, Landen and I talked to the devs last year at PAX.
I just don't want to be mean.
And no, but they were basically like, yeah, people kept trying to tell us to make a game that, like, you can't make a game like this. You can't make a game that is like literally not helpful to the player in any way, that is this disregardant, if that's not a word, but it disregards the player this much. But we just wanted to do it anyways. And there's absolutely an audience for this game, and a lot of people really love it, and a lot of people really respect it. I fall in the latter category, where again, I wouldn't play it personally, but it's really cool that this thing exists.
Totally. Kevin, you have any experience? Or
nice. No, I know nothing about this game.
You should check it out. You might be interested in it, actually.
Yeah, it sounds like a game I would definitely be interested in. I think I'm a little exhausted from playing challenging 2D games right now, so it would be pretty far on the backlog. But yeah, it seems cool. I'm looking at pictures of it right now. It seems decent. I might give it a shot.
Skate Story.
Yeah. Skate Story A. Throw that bitch an A. Yeah, no, really, really great. Basically lived up to my expectations. I still haven't finished it, but love the art style to death. It's so goddamn good. Love that it has more of a, I mean, it says Skate Story. I should have expected it, but the narrative elements are actually more present than I thought they would be, and they're really fantastic. Everything from the typography of this game to like all the little details of I talked about this with you before, Landen, and I think in the last episode a little bit, but like the music is done by this small band that makes like really cool synth poppy music. And they just like ran into the developer one day and were like, yeah, we want, like they started talking and they were like, yeah, we'll make a whole album for your game.
That's crazy.
And I've like kind of discovered their music through the trailer of this game. And it's just the camera work is incredible. The characters are incredible. Yeah, this is really great. I don't know what's keeping it from an S. Maybe it's just the fact that like skateboarding is also not like my genre of choice. Like as much as I like Tony Hawk, I just enjoy it as like a fun little side thing that I played a couple times. So maybe that's what's stopping it from there, but quality-wise, it's up there with a lot of the stuff that's an S, cool. I think.
Love it.
Sounds good.
A little double whammy here.
Oh, we're back to back. Yeah. Post Void. Post Void we can throw in B. This is a true roguelike in the sense that, well, not a true roguelike, but in the sense of there's no progression in between your runs. and it's basically like a first-person shooter with this crazy psychedelic art style, and you have, I believe it's a little skull in your hand that has a certain amount of liquid in it, and over time that liquid drains, and if the liquid completely falls out, then you're out of time and you technically die. Also, if you get hit, you take a big hit on that liquid. So time and health kind of is the same currency, so to speak. And you really have to manage that. And then you get back liquid by killing enemies. So a really big part of this game is like, as the game progresses, as the levels progress, the levels get more labyrinthian. And so you really have to like try and find your way out of there. And if you get lost and you can't find somebody to kill in time, like you'll just run out of time and you'll lose and you have to start all over again. Really great, fun, kind of pass the time game. Try loop around, see if you can get through it faster. Fun FPS, but there's not like a whole ton of, like, you could probably finish this game and like get to the exit in an hour. So there's not like a bunch of meat on this, but it's a really fun time.
Love it. Last game, Signalis. This is actually kind of a tough choice for me because I genuinely think this game is, to put it simply, this game is fantastic. And what it does, in my opinion, is survival horror perfection. Which the most genuine fun I've had playing a survival horror game maybe since Resident Evil 2 Remake. I have a whole video about it. I won't get into it too deeply here, but the style is really cool, really unique, sort of like PS1-esque, top down. The lore is very fascinating. The game does lighting and sound effects in a very, very like crunchy way. And it feels very analog as well. Like you're playing the game through a screen that is not quite yours, which adds to another element of horror, in my opinion. I'm going to put this in an A, because I think it's on par with games like Fear and Hunger for me, where it's just like what it's trying to do with its own specific niche horror genre. It does very, very, very well, but not quite an S, I don't think. And with that, I'm sorry.
I've heard. I was just gonna say I've heard endless good things about Signalis. I know one of my friends absolutely loves it. I do need to give it a try because generally I don't like horror games, but it seems like one of those games that is so good that it almost transcends its genre. Where like you should play this even if you don't like horror games. So I'll
Plus,
definitely
I don't
give
think
it a
it's
shot.
distinctly scary. It's like creepy. And there's
From what I've played like the demo of it as well, and I'm not a big horror fan, and I was like, this seems like something I could totally get into.
So I think you could definitely appreciate it. But with that is our tier list. Now I would like to go and shuffle a couple of these around because there's definitely some that I might have ranked a little too high here, but I want to know what you guys think too. Do you just want to go through each tier and then reorganize from there, or?
Sure, we can blast.
Cool. Yeah. So S tier, Arco, Hades 2, Inscription, Hollow Knight, Silksong, and Undertale. We content with that?
Yeah, nothing stands out as wrong there to me.
A, Ball Pit, Bionic Bay, Fear and Hunger, Deltarune, Skate Story, and Signalis. I think I'm going to put Ball Pit down and swap it with Straftat. Straftat's I'm going to put you up to the A at the big boy leagues. Mainly because I just went.
Not Metal Garden.
No, because I don't want to have like pretty much all my games up on the A tier, you know.
Fair enough.
But I think I have more fun with Straftat than I do Ball Pit. So, any movement here? Cool.
I think I'm good with A.
Yeah, I feel pretty solid.
Angeline Era, Ball Pit, Mio, Sword of the Sea, Metal Garden, UFO 50, Ender Magnolia, and Post Void. Any changes? Yeah.
Nah, dude, I killed it. That was great.
I think
cool.
I'm good.
Great this time around.
C. Children of the Sun, Haste, Geo, Geomythica.
Geomythica.
No, I'm not a human.
You're
Felvedek,
good.
peak and off.
I think the only one that I'd maybe consider is moving Children of the Sun up, but I not strongly enough to change it
Gotcha.
from here, honestly.
Yeah, I think I feel the same about haste. Like I might move haste up, but I don't know. I think it.
I
it's
think
in
I'm
the
going to
right
put
spot.
No, I'm not a human down to D. Truth be told, if it has the same like,
okay.
yeah, like it's
Fair
cool,
enough.
just not enough there for me, you know.
You have the only
do.
games in
I
D,
do.
by the way. I guess, dude, Kevin and I are just better
Well,
at picking good games.
Well,
We just are.
play.
maybe you just didn't pick any games. Maybe you just have too much like rose tinted glasses and you can't fairly rate these games. That could be true too.
Maybe.
Anyways,
Maybe.
the D tier: Five Nights at Freddy's, Rain World, and No, I Am Not a Human. That is the definitive indie game tier list. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. This is exactly where these games should belong. Alrighty. So yeah, with that being said, Asad, I'm gonna go to our guest first. Kevin, how are you feeling now? 2 hours later, ranking an indie.
2 hours later, I'm chilling. I'm hungry.
Yes.
A little tired, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I've got a couple more things to do tonight, so I'm not super tired. I think I have a little bit more in me. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Cool. Asad?
It's got that dog
chilling.
in him. Feeling great. This is good. This is a good list.
Yeah, this is a
I
good
think we should
list.
play these games.
Yeah.
I like it.
Let's replay all of them. Only the games that we've
Hell
played.
yeah.
Great. And with that being said, please check out Swoocers on YouTube.
Swoocers, Jesus
No.
Christ.
Is it not Swoocers? Fuck, dude. You told me the right one.
mhswoocer.
Swoocer.
Come on.
There we go. Asad.
Lock in, buddy.
Damn it, bro. I feel so bad.
Kevin, you want to tell the folks where they can find you at and what you do?
Yeah, so I make a lot of Monster Hunter videos, make a lot of indie game videos, a lot of introspective video game essays like most human beings on YouTube do. What makes mine different is that they're a little more positive, a little more optimistic, trying to bring positivity and nuance back into gaming. I made a Pokemon video a couple months ago, and it wasn't negative, so make
Whoa.
of that what you will.
That's big, actually.
Granted, it wasn't super positive either, but it wasn't like a purely hate-based video. But yeah, that's the type of stuff I do. I like to bring more positivity into things. You can find me at mhswoocer. I think it's mhswoocer.
Why do you always think these things? This is your entire brand. You should know.
I should know, but I don't know. I think that's my channel. It might not be. I'll upload and we'll find out.
Fantastic. He's lost his login. He can't figure it out.
Yeah.
He's like,
All right, guys. Got to make a new channel.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, no, check out his stuff. If you guys like indie games, and honestly, like a lot of the games that Kevin talked about on his list here are on his channel.
Yep.
So they're like in some ways. So definitely check him out. Appreciate everyone for watching. This was kind of a long one. We keep saying that we're going to make them shorter, and then we don't make them shorter. But this is good. I like talking about indies. We should talk about more indies and stop hijacking my indie corner, Landen.
Sorry.
That's fucked up.
Sorry. It's just going to happen naturally. All right.
Anything else? Yeah, let us know your favorite indies also in the comments if you have any good ones that we should try out.
Like, rate, share, all that good stuff. Even if you're on iTunes or Spotify, there is a rating system, and you can comment on those. No, you can't comment on Apple, but you can comment on Spotify as well. We love to see those every once in a while. It's very, very kind and thoughtful. So shout out anyone that has ever done that. And then from there, check out our channels, Landen Hansen and Asad Anjum, respectively. We'll see you guys soon. Peace out.